I can't believe I didn't mention this sooner, but oh boy, does time fly when it's already been a year since the last day of, let me get this right, Trans Awareness Day of Trans Visibility. Sorry, it's everybody's favorite holiday, I guess, and it's so important that, in fact, the Department of Health and Human Services decided to be the first, oh my god, once again, another groundbreaking move that they have right there, flying that version of the trans flag. I don't know why they're leaving out the rest of the rainbow with the brown and the black stripes on it. I guess that just shows their bigotry. Or maybe they've got a different day for that different flag, because we're kind of getting to the end of, which is, again, I thought they just had a day, but whatever. It was an entire month of March was Women's History Month or Women's Remembrance Month, and then the final day of Women's History Month is the Trans Awareness Day. It's very confusing, even though that the people who this is apparently supposed to address normally don't give a fuck about it. It only just inorganically trends on all the big tech platforms to make you aware of this nonsense. But they have their own month in June, and that's very important because everywhere outside of the Middle East puts up their little rainbow filters on all of their big tech platform sites. So I guess we have that to look forward to, and I'm sure that there's something insane and equally as ridiculous for April, but I guess we'll just stand and wait with bated breath. But to mark the very official and very important day in and of itself, Joe Biden applauds transgenderism with the launch of new X gender marker. Well, I guess they gonna give it to you, them gonna give it to you, Z gonna give it to you, something like that. Now they can join the rest of the progressive world, because I think Canada's been doing it for a long time, and some other European cuck countries, probably France, just has a fill in whatever you want for a gender on your passport. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I'm glad you guys are investing money in that. Anyways, President Joe Biden will publicly get behind Transgender Day of Visibility. Why don't you get in front, bigot? On Thursday, by introducing a new universal gender marking, AP reports fresh measures aimed at opening federal government to transgender people include a new X gender marker on U.S. passport applications beginning on April 11th. Is that the X that you have to put on your application as to whether or not you're a male or a female? Just asking. A new Transportation Secretary Administration scanners that are gender neutral are also planned as part of the administration-wide embrace of transgenderism and the people issue and other crazy people. Oh, but it's what are gays? 10% of the population, and then transgenders are like a fraction of a percentile, and then the further you get down the alphabet spectrum, it gets less and less than that. So we need to spend millions and millions of dollars for okay, like, do you really need a specific approach for gays, even though they're the biggest chunk, the L and the G that are on there, and then B to a lesser extent? You have all that on there, and then of course for the fraction of a percentile, you need to start spending hundreds of thousands, millions, even tens of millions of dollars on this vanity project. No, you just need those virtue signaling points. See, we're with all the gays that are out there. And it's like, that's nice, Uncle Joe. You're really making a difference. To the end of the To that end, sorry, let's get it right. Third time's the charm. The White House is also working to expand the availability of X gender markers to airplanes and federal trade programs. Yeah, sure. Hopefully we get to a point in time where we'll just be able to have an airplane for everybody. Whites can have their own airplane. Blacks can have their own airplane. It just sounds as progressive as it's ever been, right? Separate but equal. God, leave it up to old Jim Crow Joe to fucking bring all this nonsense back. It is a continuation of Biden's effort to rewrite the way government engages a gender identity. That's cool. And you know who else celebrated the day? Fox News. Once again, just going to show you that they are really not your friend. Okay, they are not the conservative alternative. Tucker Carlson does intermittently good reporting and news, okay? You gotta give it up to him. As for Sean Hannity, he'll give you whatever the deep state narrative is, and then for the rest of them, who fucking knows, right? Tell us more about how great of a religious conservative that Amy Coney Barrett and Brett Kavanaugh are gonna be. Cool, I don't forget. But Fox News hires Caitlyn Jenner as a contributor. She's an inspiration. Is she really? Okay, is she qualified to be a contributor for Fox News? I've never heard her political takes before. Sure, she ran for governor of California, but that was a joke for a joke state, so that made sense. But outside of that, are you just trying to be like every other fucking clickbait site by just having a Kardashian in the lower right-hand corner? You got close, and that's the best you could do. I don't know who this is gonna fucking win over to your side. Cool. You bought a big high-profile tranny. Congratulations. I don't know what you're winning in this one. Like, who does this appease? The morons who still try to placate? Okay, those conservatives that are out there that just try to continue to secede more and more ground by just saying, well, we need to lose with dignity. There you go, your boomer Fox News base, I guess. But what kind of fucking brilliant insights are you going to get from this inspiration? Caitlyn Jenner, the reality television star and former Republican candidate for the governor of California. Are you going to run again at the end of the year, Caitlyn? And what 9 other races are you going to run as well? Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't the 70s anymore. Will make her debut on Thursday as a paid contributor for the Fox News channel. The cable news announced Caitlyn's story is an inspiration to us all. Yeah, running somebody over and then fucking flipping genders on your applications. Yeah, really inspirational. How to get away with a murder. She is a trailblazer in the alphabet community, and her illustrious career spans a variety of fields that will be a tremendous asset for our audience, your audience, which is all 50 and over. Who is this placate? Oh, people who just remember and have a certain special fondness for a particular box of Wheaties that they had when they were attending fucking middle school. Like, I get this if it was a move from one of the other networks that's out there, but just, okay, yeah, they ran as a Caitlyn ran as a conservative. Cool. Do you think this is going to boost your ratings or add to anything to it? No. Jenner, the artist formerly known as Olympic medalist Bruce Jenner, before transitioning to become a woman in 2015, will offer commentary and analysis across Fox News channel programming and various Fox News media platforms. Okay. She will make her debut during Sean Hannity's Fox News primetime show on Thursday, according to the network. I'll be waiting with bated breath for that fucking stunning analysis. Yeah, we really think that Zelensky is doing a good job in Ukraine, and all of those neo-Nazis that they have, it's not really that big of a deal, guys. I'm humbled by this unique opportunity to speak directly to Fox News Media's millions of viewers about a range of issues that are important to the American people, Jenner said in a statement. After the illustrious athletic career from the 70s, hasn't been relevant ever since, popping on the cable television show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And now all of those broads are 40 and still trying to fucking flaunt their fake asses everywhere. It makes me sick to my stomach. But more in transgender news, you know how Lia Thomas, this stunning and brave dick-swinging swimming prodigy. Oh, wait, when it was, I forget, what was her name before? Ted Thomas. He was like a 438th placed swimmer, but then now he's just out there fucking shattering records. And you know what? Hey, next year you could go for all of those world records if you really put your mind to it. You just stop taking your mind off of the teammates, which you may or may not be walking around the change room getting a little bit a little rowdy over. Maybe if you put a little bit more focus into that, you could just really start going for the gold. Maybe you'll repeat as NCAA champion in 500 freestyle. I think that's what you won. Run the table, dude. Sorry, X. There we go. A great injustice. Concerned women, for America files Title IX complaint against UPenn over Lia Thomas. Well, now we're going to have to get into that thorny subject where Title IX isn't specifically directed for women. Doesn't necessarily have that language in it. Everybody assumes it is, and it's supposed to be one of those equality acts where you're supposed to hand out, this is what it's most colloquially used in reference to, handing out the same amount of scholarships for men and women athletics at the NCAA level, and that's what it gets used for. But it was initially supposed to be used for a multitude of other things, and now it's going to have to address that thorny issue of gender expression, because, okay, we got a tranny here, right? So we got a A swimmer who was unsuccessful on their male team went over to their female team and is now taking the podium anytime she wants to, right? But now we start busting this shit open, and because there is how many genders at this point? Do we have to start handing out, and will the colleges have to start handing out as many scholarships for all the men and women that are out there, and then at the same time for the unicorns, the elf selves, the worm selves that are out there? You're opening up a Pandora's box. You can't do that for Lia Thomas because, well, for obvious reasons, but there's many boxes that are going to get cracked on this one, and you might not like the consequences at the end of the day. Concerned Women for America, I already hate that fucking organization for a multitude of reasons, has gone right to the federal government to claim that University of Pennsylvania is violating its Title IX statute by allowing male athletes to compete against female athletes, including Lia Thomas, a man who identifies as a woman. Hey, come on, she's stunning and brave and very successful. Be thankful that it's swimming and not fencing or boxing. Great injustice is being committed against women students at UPenn and beyond in direct violation of federal law. Well, to be fair, the only complaint so far was a fucking backhanded refutation of the facts. Oh, Lia works just as hard and is just as much as a woman as anybody else, except for when I can't make the final races. Sucks to suck. That was that, what, Hungarian immigrant from VTech? Thank God you were a student in 2022 and not, what, 2008? Anyways, the violations are compounded, and the colleges and universities are allowing a hostile environment to fester, which threatens female athletes' entire college careers. Why? They're still, hey, all they need to do is just try harder. You can be anything you want to be, including a award-winning woman beater, and even their future earning opportunities. Question, okay, if you're worried about female athletics, there is one professional sports team out there. There could be more if they would just, give up their dignity a little bit, but outside of female basketball players, I don't see too many professional female field hockey teams. What's that? The female, I guess maybe the soccer team, because they're getting paid as much as the men right now, maybe kind of, but if getting rid of those women that are on the United States women's soccer team just means a couple more Lia Thomases come along, I don't really know if that's such a bad thing. Anyways, the statute protects women from facing discrimination at educational institutions that get federal funds. CWFA charges Thomas inclusion on the women's swim team discrimination against women by making the competition unfair. No. All women are women, you fucking bigots. So we're going to have to see where this plays out. Where was this filed, by the way? It doesn't say in here, nor does it really matter because, well, now it's going to be apparently a matter of the courts because they've just submitted it to federal courts. So I don't know how they're going to have to get around this other than just try to use the language of Title IX to realize that there's no real definition in here that says certain women who have certain biological makeup. I don't know how that makes it unfair to them. This is the fucking bed you made. Now you got to lie in it. So, hey, oh well. At this point, though, how do we fix this situation? Well, you guys probably know my stance on this. I'm just an accelerationist on this. And it's going to take somebody dying, unfortunately, in order for them to realize that this was kind of fucking stupid and we're going to have to go ahead and move on because it doesn't matter. Every single college is going to get their own, like it says here at the bottom, 462nd ranked male to just come on over to the women's team. And then it'll be balanced out. They're all just going to have to troll the end of the bench in order to level the playing field on this one because there's too much sunken capital in believing that, you know what, maybe this whole idea that men can become women and then compete in a open playing field, yeah, maybe that's kind of retarded, and the entire reason that people a long time ago figured out that women just aren't as strong or athletically gifted as men, and they should, because some women do want to compete, maybe they should have their own separate division, kind of like the way that there are weight classes in combat sports and strength-based activities as well, because there are certain inevitable biological differences even within the same sex that, yeah, me at 6'5", 2 and a quarter, I'm gonna be stronger than some dude, theoretically, some dude who's what, 5'2", 130. Okay, like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to move more stuff than that dude. Okay, that theoretical dude is gonna be able to. I'm no less of a man. Well, come on, 5'2", but biologically speaking, I've got the chromosomes for it. I've got the structural setup for it, and that's why we wouldn't be competing against one another. Okay, like I said, if we just move into the combat sports world, I'd be fighting at heavyweight. Even though I'd probably cut down to light heavyweight because, well, I might as well just have the fucking advantage there. But anyways, regardless, I wouldn't be fighting unless it was some sort of a fucking freak show. Anybody who is, what, strawweight or flyweight, okay, that would be ridiculous and ludicrous. Now, skilled mixed martial artists could probably fucking put me on my ass, which is totally fair, okay? But two similarly skilled people, which even at college sports level, at the highest level, there is very little difference in skill there, okay? It just comes down to timing and genetics. Unfortunately, everybody knows how to properly do, especially in swimming, the different disciplines, okay? Backstroke, the butterfly, and your freestyle movements, everybody is pretty much the exact same way. It just comes down to some immutable characteristics, like the ability to cut through water, whatever the equivalent of aerodynamicism underwater is. I don't swim, I don't fucking know all the proper terminology, but you get what I mean. The ability to be streamlined through the water. Okay, the amount of water that can be displaced with every stroke, okay, kicking the feet, how quick you can do that, how long you can maintain your optimal performance. That's what it comes down to. And then there's just certain things that men are going to be better and more predisposed to be able to continue to do. And that's just a fact of fucking life. But unfortunately, it's been enshrined. Unfortunately, or if you like a good laugh, fortunately, it's been enshrined that all men are men and all women are women. It doesn't matter if you have a dick and you want to go into the change room with a dress on the front of it, or if you want to identify as a toaster and then continue to play on your fucking high school ball team. What the fuck ever, but this is eventually going to have to bore out one way or another, and I'm siding with the ideologues on this one, okay? At least at this point. And like I said, this is going to result in somebody getting fucking killed before there ends up being any sort of institutional change, because they have bought this in whole hog. And really, as many perfs and radicals that are out there saying, oh, actually there is a problem, which I do agree with, but I do like to make jokes at this because it's just so fucking ludicrous. There's no point in taking it all apart because everybody knows that there's a problem here and then that there are differences. But there really is no placating these weirdos, and we'll just enjoy the ride as long as it lasts. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. And by the way, happy day of trans awareness, because the Adam's apple wasn't enough of a giveaway. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.